to be challenged first. They'll have the USP towards middle. He'll be fending off Cold Zero. He's got the P250 armor combo. Can be very deadly indeed. He's going to come out on top. Looks like Cold Zero right now. And significant damage towards Nifty. They're a very slow default right now. They see the bomb still in T-spawn. Stewie holding the door, as is so often. But Jacob, lovely shot there. Take down bolts. That'll open things up nicely for Renegades. They definitely need this pistol to stand a chance here against the mighty mibr. As Cold Zero looks to answer back. Does more damage towards Nifty. You can't find that killing blow just yet.
Yeah. Nifty's finally had enough. He'll fall off of highway. He won't give up middle entirely, though. He'll rotate all the way back around towards Z connector so as to still have some information at the very least. Meanwhile, Azza is also looking for information. He'll push out toward a main. Nifty perhaps should have just sat back altogether because he goes back out for collects the final damage needed to take him down. You can see the assist to Gold from the earlier exchange. Azza does spot one toward the A main position. Now he's a little bit pincered because he's got a problem. If he falls back, Stewie with the door will be able to catch him doing so. That door's been shut, however. So he could get back in the site. He elects to continue pushing forward. This is interesting because now they go back over toward B. He thinks he's going to be clear. He needs to check left as he walks out from A main, however, because working in behind him is Stewie. They've gone into exchange. At the same time, so is the bomb toward B. Good find by Azza, and he's able to hold off the rotation. Jacob's able to hold off the site. 3 kills in total for him, and the round and pistol round that is to go to Renegades.
Absolutely does. Whoa, there it is. There's a turnout for the books. Exactly what Renegades needed there. The opening kill comes in favor of Renegades. I'm just looking at the chat. First, he's got 2 deaths, which he does. So I think that's fine. That doesn't really do anything for him, especially. But either way, we'll see them have the force by here in round number 2. He's going to be fallen with no armor. The rest of his teammates certainly do have Kevlar, though. They've got Deagles and 1 P250, a little bit of utility. Everyone's actually all in. Fallen didn't save cash. He opted for the Molotov and the smoke flashbang combo instead of getting the firepower. He's hoping that star players can open things up here. They are a very specialized team in these sort of pistols, can certainly win these sort of rounds. As Azza patrols towards highway, he's got Nifty close range towards middle. He's got the MP9, so that's where you expect him to be. Looks like an A split's being set up for now. Bolts is patrolling B storage. It's Stewie, as usual, working that door. We saw a lot of that over in Brazil. Now, just trying to bleed out any sort of CT utility they can, I think. Just trying to get the smokes out there. But Cold Zero didn't check beneath the boost, and he'll be taken down by that MP9.
Yeah, solid play from Nifty. Stewie door opens to try and spray it through. Can't quite collect. He's actually taking a bit of damage in exchange, but Bolt's already out behind the forklift position. Smokes down. Doesn't want to elevate himself. Doesn't want to jump up so as to be spotted from the truck. Instead, looking for shots. Look at Stewie. He finds 2 on a deagle. They're going to get a bomb plant off of this man. Advantage to work with as well as Stewie holds toward the quad position. And Burr could find another good shoulder peek, however, from JKS. That shot landed and he picks up the UMP. You give them a 4 versus 2. I think you give them the round on the back of that. Nifty manages 1 before going down. Stewie again with the kill. He's gotten 3 so far. He's going to need the ace. Still has the deagle to work with. Like shot on JKS. He follows it up. It's got 4. He's on 34 HP, but he couldn't quite get Jacob. Jacob doesn't have a kit, but I think he's got the time.
Yeah, he's fine with the looks of things there. I don't think it'll be a problem towards the end. Well done to Jacob, but Stewie, commiserations for him. Fantastic round, 4 kills. It felt like it was all lined up for him. We're going to see a 1D to close it out, but not quite. It's going to be Jacob to finish it off. I would dare say that SK, or mibr I should say at this point, that's going to be a difficult transition to make. Might even force buy here, because they got the bomb down and brought it down to the 1 versus 1. We'll see though. Here's Stewie finding those early and late round kills. This one especially, I thought he definitely had a chance, but it won't even be the force buy. Fair enough. It is a best of 1. Maybe you don't want to take too many chances here. So just Deagles, and Stewie gets a bit of armor as well. I think he fired the bomb and obviously found all those kills. So he got a bit of extra cash. Still has the highest amount, even with the Kevlar purchase. As we go to round number 3 here. 3 UMPs for Renegades as well. A couple of rifles, but just the start they needed. Didn't want to give that second round, that's for sure. And for now, Stewie trying to find more Deagle headshots here.
Why not? Goes to the door to do it again. Nifty's going to swing to hold him at bay because he wants to allow Yustillo and Azza to try and push up. That's interesting, but it's not really ever going to amount to much. Deagle through that wall won't do as much damage as he would have hoped. And Azza is able to go back and find him, so Deagle gone already. Find JKS. Authority. They're certainly covering their bases, and Jacob, you mentioned it, he hasn't had that form that he had toward the end of last year. Well, it's certainly starting off as a good game for him. 7, 1 assist, 0 death, 7 kills for Jacob as we hit round 4.
3-0. Not so much a bonus round for Renegades here. They actually lost a lot of their weaponry in round number 2, so they'll be stuck on these UMPs for now. Not ideal, but certainly viable. They can make it work. So will they try and change things up? Maybe send a couple of those SMGs towards a squeaky door, for example. Maybe go for a counter boost, something like that. We'll see. We'll have a look at the initial setup. I don't think anything too special. It's 2 towards B, 1 middle, 2 at A. So very default in terms of the initial setup, at least. Ustilo does go on towards the heaven steps and drops down for now. As you can see, Azad there with him. They're going to try and get to main control. So presumably smoking in towards the entrance. That's the smoke and the Molotov as well. So you can see it's a nice little set piece just to give the main control. They've certainly got it, didn't take any damage. So that's absolutely fine. Stewie trying to wallbang here. He gets lots of kills through the door. I don't think you'll see many through those shutters there, but still very early on the round here is Fallen trying to find a bit of damage as well.
Stewie, door open this time. He's got an AK to work with, see if he can capitalize. Goes for the spray. Azza had to be careful. He was actually trying to shut the door. He nearly walked into the bullets. Realizes when they stop, that's his opportunity to shut the door once more. Keep in mind, there's a boost in the corner for Ustilo. There's a boost at middle, as well as they'll put both Bolts and Cold Zero up on the box. Stewie's got to be a bit cautious, trying to work out from that doorway. Azza can swing and Ustilo can look down. And as we know, Tom, Ustilo is a monster.
30 seconds remaining. He is in a promising position, that's for sure. 2 players boosted for mibr. And we'll see with 25 seconds remaining if they can make anything of this round. I think the boost would be very important here. Will they even check it? Stewie walking through the smoke. The flashbang's perfect. Fallen spotted the boosted player, gives the information to his teammate. But Nifty and JKS fighting tooth and nail here. Bazza can find one. That will drop the bomb. Can he get a second? Certainly can. That should be the round now. I don't think there's chance to even plant, but Cold Zera, he's taking no prisoners here. He could actually win the round as Azza sweats beneath him. He wins it with 0 seconds on the clock, so that was right down to the wire there.
Smart play from Cold as well, knowing that if he went right or left, the player would go away from him, so he went to the only position he could get above the box to catch him in rotation, and Azza hears him jumping up, able to get the shot. Cold nearly pulls it back, but Renegades have a 4-0 start, made in Brazil's first registered game in Counter-Strike Global Offensive as a squad.
Not the best start.
Yeah, it's early yet. But you're right.
Yeah, that's how starts usually work, yeah.
Okay. Listen, man. Just saying, don't write it off.
Yeah, I'm not. I'm just saying, like, you would have hoped, though, that the first game under the banner be a 4-0 in their favor, run away with it, but it looks like 5-0 is coming in favor of the Renegades. Nice opening kill from Nifty there. Remember, it's the maximum loss bonus into the next round. Fur, he'll be the one that's dropped. Nifty must be getting some decent cash now. Hasn't actually had to bring out the orb as of yet. 7k on Azza. Nifty's on 2 after getting $600 there, so not as much as I thought. But the bomb's going to be planted. Azza struggling somewhat from the forklift there. I think he had to really challenge that kill, but does recover it. Fallen will be dropped as well. So a nice clean sweep from Renegades. Give a bomb plant up. They're going to be full buy anyway next round. It's not a huge deal, but still an extra $800 per player. You'll see the Fallen orb come out for the first time, as the analyst mentioned on the desk. He is now taken full responsibility, Fallen that is, in terms of the in-game leader role. That might be a weird little point to hear, but in the last few events, he's been letting Stewie call him Mirage, I think, and maybe a few other compromises here. I don't think that's going to be the key to success. Stewie joined this team looking for a proper in-game leader, someone that can tell him what to do and get the most out of him. They haven't really found that yet. Their greatest event so far, I guess you could say, was Belo Horizonte, but they did win a Portuguese event the week before against Hellraiser in the final. I don't really count that as the
no, I mean, there was like 20,000 fans, and it looked pretty remarkable, but you're right. It's not a top-tier event that you expect to see. I'll use the SK term, but because that's what they were. You wouldn't have expected SK to really care about or what you're used to seeing from them. That's not an achievement you would have even noted beforehand. So JK has to be counter-boosted. He'll go up CT side. Molotov thrown out toward the vents. That will reveal that there's one on his left, should he elect to go over, and he's going to. It's disappeared to his left, so it could only have gone one direction, and that's toward A main. Good find. Falling down. JKS will follow it to find Bolts. Spur gets the return fire. It's Ustillo to shut out Stewie, and now it's down to 2 versus 4.
You could see the cogs turning in JKS's head there. As he saw the Molotov come through, he knows the tendencies of mibr. He knows what they like to do on their little set piece and stuff. As soon as that Molotov came through, no doubt in his mind, Fallen would be beneath him there. Comes through. I think Fallen went down instantly. I mean, he might not have had a helmet. I'm not sure. I assume he did. But he went down very quickly indeed. Gets the second kill. Funnels him in towards A. And Renegades actually looking pretty decent right now. That was assertive stuff. They're not sitting back and letting mibr have full run of the map. They're actually challenging these key positions. They didn't even get close to a bomb site there, but still, it's Cold, Zera, and Third. You can never write those guys off, I'll say that much. As B bomb site technically open right now, is Nifty outside. He's got the AWP. If he gets smoked off, there's a chance to get a plant here. Jacob will be backing him up towards heaven, I would say. Eventually, he's got the flashbang out, ready for if Nifty has to take a shot and hide, he can just block them off, but the smokes are coming towards spawn any second, surely. There's the smoke. But Nifty takes down further. He got a little bit too keen there to cross towards the side. That was a nice idea, but poorly executed. And now the 4 versus 1 comes through. Cold Zera not going to win this one, I'm afraid. He's got 10 seconds on the clock. It would take something absolutely unbelievable at this point as Nifty comes in to finish things off. No plants. And there it is, Matt. 6-0 for Renegades.
Yeah, that's a remarkable start. And it's a new org only in name. If you were watching this, you might expect it's a new org altogether, the way that things have gone so far in this game. They haven't looked composed. They've looked caught out at many occasions, meaning that their lack of foresight is evident. And as cased by JKS, you said it, you could see the wheels turning. He knew exactly what was going on and read the play perfectly. Got the second kill because he knew that time was of the essence with the UMP, and so too with the flank. 6-0 made in Brazil. And they're going to have to go to whatever weapons they can rope around these 3 AKs. Looks like Fallen will settle for a CZ-75. I'd say 3 AKs. I say 4 now because Bolts has brought one out.
Yeah, the maximum loss bonus on the T side, as long as you get a bomb down like every 3 rounds, you're okay. Well, you're not really, I guess. You're okay in terms of getting some guns out. You're not going to be eco every single round.
Yeah, exactly. It's better than the CT side where you don't
Yeah,
get
exactly. So the AK is only 2,700 as opposed to 3,100, and you don't need a kit, obviously, and the Molotov's cheaper than it is in the CT side. There's a lot of different factors for that. But overall, 6-0. Nifty takes damage at the very start of the round. Maybe you got naded towards the white box from the boost area. You can nade over the top of it to get the nade just about there. So I'm assuming that's what happened to him. Molotov in, and this looks like a B set piece now as Stewie will go first through the smoke, of course. Ready to challenge the first kill, takes down JKS. Nicely done. And Jacob still resides in towards Checkers, so he's going to be dealt with as well.
That's a better read. That's a much better play. They dictated what they wanted to that time and controlled it all the way through. Closest thing to Made in Brazil stickers, Immortal stickers, which they've got.
Yeah, whack those on.
Now. Yeah. Get them in there, boys. Bomb thrown across so as not to be spotted out from tree. 5 versus 2, 59 seconds to go. AWP and 2 AKs on the CT side to hold on to. Money's terrific, but not as such that they want to give any away unnecessarily, so it will be a save call. Any kill they get is beneficial. 3 digits of money at best for anyone on the Made in Brazil side. And a potential reset coming at 6-1, but they aren't going to pursue those kills.
No, this is smart from Renegades. Keep 3 players up. You know the round's over. Sure, they've got to keep 5 players alive, but you're going to keep yourself very healthy. With only 2 players going down, you save the AWP as well. 2 AKs and as a Ustillo. Obviously, you can't buy those on the CT side. They're worth the weight in gold if you can hold on to them. We've discussed this many times before, but the idea is on maps like Cash, especially where the CTs can be more assertive at the start, they can go for flanks like JKS showed us before. That's when the AK comes into its own. Nifty's called for a timeout now. It'll be tactical, of course. He gets 30 seconds to talk with his coach. I believe it's Ryu now, not Kassad. So Ryu has been brought in. He was one of the original people that I think that unearthed Nifty as a player. Way back in the Selfless days, is that right? So he found him, and that's when Nifty really got his opportunity in CSGO. So maybe he's going to be working with him a little bit closer as he knows him so well. But he was the coach of CLG in the most recent iteration, which was, I guess they kind of were looking relatively promising at one point, but they've disbanded now. It's not really a thing anymore.
No, exactly. And CLG, that's right. They were involved for a period of time. Another big org that's left us recently, as well as Envious.
Indeed.
So you you definitely have to consider that Ryu does bring a lot of experience to this team, and you're right in saying that Nifty's played under him before. He also worked with Ethan and Saprosa and all those guys as well. So he's been involved in the North American scene for a long period of time. Good guy too, actually. Enjoy.
Well, this is the best looking Renegades I've seen. Like, obviously, like you said, very early days, but in terms of the way they're playing right now, this is looking much better than what it's looked like the last 2 months or so. So let's get into it. Another B set piece. You see all 5 players in the top left of your mini-map right now from the mibr side, just walking. This will be a contact play, but JKS now with the secondary AWP. He'll be lining them up and finding shots, but only one so far.
Smart counter. Oh, that's one way to counter it. They stack the Molotovs for maximum damage, and he instantly extinguishes all 3 of them so as to stay alive, but only for a second. They'll eventually put him down with a nade instead. I was about to say, a very smart counter Molotov by him to hold them off the main entrance to Checker. They had to go front side B. He caught them in retreat, and Asa has not had to utilize the vent position as of yet because it was a perfect bait and switch potential.
So he doesn't want to go towards the vent at all. He knows he's going to have greatest success if he goes with his teammates. Otherwise, he'll just be waiting around. He'd rather go in and have trade potential. One of them instead of going for a very narrow choke point and being sprayed down by some of the great aim on the mibr side. Nifty, though, AWP, he'll be going in first. It's Ucilla to crack open the site, though. All of a sudden, it's a 3 versus 1. But look, he's waiting for them. The bomb is at a considerable pace now. The defuse comes in, but I don't think he can do anything about it. Great job from Nifty there. And the full defuse comes in. Very efficient and clean from Renegades. I don't think I've said that about them in a while. So that's fantastic. Fallen is running a James Bond, just a note, 007. He definitely has been struggling, I guess, a lot this year. He hasn't been his best. The very beginning of 2018 was rough, but definitely found some form over in Belo Horizonte, so hopefully he can get into the game. 7-1 as Made in Brazil will have another buy available to them. They did win the previous, remember, with 5 players up on the T side. The double AWP setup's out now. Nifty and JKS up against Fallen, who's yet to find his first frag. But you feel like him against JKS, he'd have the upper hand. But JKS already in position as he creeps around the corner here.
So bomb waiting outside of A main. Meanwhile, pretty standard default Nifty alone in mid, but as in Ustillo again boosting toward A. Fallen finally on the AWP, 7-1. 3rd straight game we've seen 7-1.
That's true.
It's a testament to the World Cup going on right now, Henry.
Especially with MIBR and stuff.
I think that it's going to be 7-1 for Colombia tonight over who are they playing again?
Little team that invented the sport called England.
Oh, you did that small island off the coast of Europe that's no longer part of it.
Yeah, exactly. That's right.
I'm going to cheer for England. I think it'll be fun.
I think it'll be a good game. I'm not going to go in thinking, oh, it's definitely a lock-in. They should win, but you never know. It's going to be a lot of fun. Either way, I'll be there with the boys tonight. Forgot my shirt, of course, but
that's fine. Go shirtless. That's the trend.
Yeah, I could paint the England flag on me.
That's man. Yes, I'm there then for sure. Nifty misses his shot toward Highway, but they know that they're there. They've given up middle accordingly. He's got 25 HP left inside of the site. Ustillo, meanwhile, has gone off the boost to the corner. And he's going to hold off. I mean, I need to do much, though, because Asa finds 2 quick kills as they arrive at the site. Stewie's gone behind them. They've actually managed to sneak in from the doorway toward quad and get the bomb down. Ustillo's revealed that he's out toward A main, but managed to get back up in the corner before such time that he's spotted. He's now going to be left alone with just Jacob to work with. Good find from Stewie as he pulls out the AWP. Remember, on round 2, he nearly won it with a deagle. 4 kills from the similar position, and with Fallen to work with 2 ops in the site and an AK, make it just the 2 ops. I was going to say they have a real chance, but Cold gets caught by a late lurk on Jacob's part as he works back, and now the M4s go to work. The ops can't do anything from that range.
Oh, he hit it. Fallen actually got the shot on Jacob, but that's really fancy footwork from Ustillo. Great teamwork again, Matt. That's them actually thinking and not panicking for once. They actually look quite calculated and calm when they go for the retakes. They're actually looking more like mibr than they do right now. That was really good to watch. Nice teamwork, good flanks, good communication. There's everything looking quite good there. Renegades, they deserve this. They haven't stolen this lead away. They've actually played some really solid Counter-Strikes so far. It's great to see after the desperate times they found themselves in. I think the guys noted on the desk since Cassard left, that's when they've looked really quite disjointed. But this is looking marvelous, I have to say. Best of 1, 8-1 up. And you've got I keep saying SK. I've got to get out of this habit. mibr with Deagles and 1 AK. Stewie investing everything he's got. The rest of them taking themselves down to about $1,000. The last 2 rounds have come down to defuse on the retakes. And in terms of loss bonus, they'll have 3rd stage next round. So they'll have enough for a buy. But Stewie, unless he does something absolutely absurd at this AK in round number 10, he won't have much to work with.
Stewie working with the AK-47, boosted up 8-1 now for Renegades, and all the best efforts are thwarted. So Stewie getting to the white box is yet to be detected, but they know it's a passive hold toward middle, and that goes both ways. Therefore, Aza, exactly that, is still watching onto highway, and they can swing Jacob back out behind if he were to carelessly engage in that duel. Stewie's a bit smarter than that, but caught out by a flash. He's 1 up once. Did that didn't come from Fur. The only trail I saw in the sky was from Fur.
If that's going to be a really unfortunate way to give away the AK, if that's what happened, but it will be recovered.
I can't imagine that there was that much miscommunication between them. I might have saw that when the camera turned. Either way, I'm hoping it didn't. Nifty takes down Bolts. Gold Zero, that's got a great shot on the Deagle to pull it the other direction, but he needs to work back out. Fur's got Naza, so they picked up the AK again. He'll work up middle. Jacob's going to take him back down. Once again, the AK is dropped, but they've got an M4 and an AWP going against 2 M4s now picked up by Fallen and Cold. And once again, a bomb plant, but only in the nick of time. There's 10 seconds. And it'll do further damage. Actually, they double it to Cold. He's down to 28.
Oh, wow. Okay, JKS now knows exactly where Fallen is. This isn't looking too pretty for the in-game leader. Down he goes, and it was looking a little bit dicey there for Renegades. Made a couple of mistakes in terms of positioning. They were actually perfect until Nifty dropped off the railings there. He was actually in a prime spot, kind of fumbled the hold, and then he got taken down, and then the floodgates open. But still, another retake where Renegades come out on top. With the bomb planted, though, that's going to put mibr in a more comfortable position. But 9-1, that's anything but. Stewie, like I said, he'll have to take a compromise. With the bomb going down, he can at least get a kill out. So not the end of the world, but certainly not ideal. Maybe Fallen will swap with him. He actually has. I love that. In-game leaders being selfless. That's always good to see. And you've brought Stewie in to be one of your star players up there with Cold Zero and First. So why not? Let's make sure he has everything he needs so he feels comfortable. Remember, these teams still speaking in English, for better or for worse. And it's understandable they're not looking their absolute best. It's going to take some time, but coming up to the major soon, Matt, and that's when they really need to be ready. Yeah,
absolutely. Major cycle begins in, actually, I think this weekend.
Yeah, it actually starts this week.
That's right.
Towards the end of this tournament,
yeah. The first minor overlaps with the ending of this tournament, and officially that is the start of the major cycle. So
yep.
We are basically there. Stewie in white box garage, not the white box in middle.
Well, he knows Nifty's been playing up close with the MP9 from time to time, but I don't think that's going to be the case anymore. Obviously, with that double AWP setup, you'd be an audacious position to hold with the AWP. Bolts needs to be careful, though. JKS has proven himself to be a worthy secondary AWP.
1 kill for Fallen. Yeah, 0 for Bolts.
No way. Bolts on 0?
Cold 5. The lead is Stewie and Fur at 9 and 7. Yeah, there's 0 for Bolts, and we are 11 rounds in.
Ouch.
Ustillo inside A main. Again, we'll take information where he can gain it. The problem is that he's gone A main. Nifty's already looking toward highway. This gives availability for Cold and Fur to walk out from the door, which they've now done. Nifty's aware of it. He'll rotate off back toward the truck after finding the opening pick. Again, they've gone this way before. Ustillo shut them down from being in the corner, but Cold this time catches him off. That changes the complexion of the plant considerably. Remember, it was Stewie that got in behind quad with the AWP last time. They had a similar situation where they sort of split the entry toward the A site. Nonetheless, Fallen holding off on the lurk has Bolts still to play with Fallen's second kill as he takes down Aza. Bolts looking for his first, is finally going to get it. JKS to fall. He'll double it, in fact. And now tie Fallen's total as he gets Jacob as well, and Nifty's going to bug out and go home. It's 9-2. Finally, mibr finding another round.
Yeah, it was looking a little bit problematic there with the opening kill from Nifty, but that's luckily for mibr all he found, as it is the A side that they overrun. There was a chance for Ustillo with that nice hold towards A main, but Cold Zero had his number the entire time, it seemed. And there it is, 9-2. Start of the campaign here. Like we said coming into this one, it's technically a T-sided map, so still a lot of work to do here, and they're close to breaking down the finances of Renegades, as you can see. JKS could go for the M4 here or another AWP. We'll see which way he's inclined as we go into round number 12. Not before we have a tactical timeout, though, as you can see. That's going to be called by the Renegades. They've Already used one before. You get 4 in total, 30 seconds each time. And like we said, there's a chance now for Ryu, the new coach of Renegades, to get stuck in. And it's been a great game so far. I think if you told them at the very start they were going to get 9 rounds on the CT side, they would have bit your hand off. So anything now at this point is an absolute bonus. If they can get double digits, that's amazing.
Well, 9-2 with potential reset yet again. Double digits is far from out of the question. Opt for Fallen. Opt for Nifty. We'll see if they can find success either way. Fallen more so because they're desperate to need it. Quick nade to see if anyone's up close. No one is. So far, no counter smoke or set smoke default-wise to hold off or push through on A main. Stewie again, as his default, will be out toward the door. It'll bounce by the arrow. That smoke then covers off toward quad, allows him to isolate the entry, but Ustillo is aware of it, plays on the side of the box, spotted them, but was already committed to falling off. He wants position at the fence. He'll get there as well. And wow. The flash timing is so good because I thought he was easily going to find Stewie. Back around the corner, turns in a fully blinded opponent, easy to take down. It's suddenly a 5 versus 2 2-man advantage. First time they've had that on the mibr side with a bomb down.
That was actually beautiful from mibr. The Stewie play there. The moment that flashbang goes off, he's running through backwards, through the smoke, no chance of taking him down there. It was looking good for Renegades. You're right, they lost the first pick, but they had a decent crossfire set up there. But nothing could be done against that. And they also had to save the weapons. As we mentioned, the money's starting to get a little bit low now for the Renegades squad, as you can see on the right-hand side of your screen. Definitely need to save the weapons, and luckily they're going to save 3, so JKS can drop an M4. That will probably go towards Ustillo, and Azza can probably get himself a UMP and some grenades. I don't think he'll get dropped anything. So there we go. mibr with the 3rd, and like we said, Renegades just get 1 more, get double digits. I think that's a good enough R for them. Obviously, you want to take as many rounds as physically possible, but just being realistic, 10-5 would be fantastic at this point. But let's see what they go for. Azza, I guess they can buy for himself. JK has to drop an M4 for Ustillo. There we go. We're getting to round number 13 now. So our 3rd best of 1 of the day. We do have a couple of winners and loser games for you at the end with the best of 3s. We've got 1 more best of 1 for this, though, in group stage play.
Absolutely correct.
The Incendiary to stop the fast play. And another default for mibr. Nothing too quick or controversial to kick things off here.
So JKS, late boost toward the B vents, or mid vent, the vent. It's only 1. But he comes in from the B side. Fallen's waiting. Jacob, does he spot him? Surely. Couldn't have been that misleading. I thought that elbow was wide open. X-ray sometimes is, but either way, when he does spot him, Jacob's able to relocate and either doing damage the other direction. Stewie's taken considerable damage, mind you, and that's out toward the door. Finally, they counter him. In fact, he's going to fall all the way off of that position. Nifty playing aggressive A main with an AWP. Well, he'll take every inch they give him as well. He's going to go all the way up toward the lockers, potentially?
With the AWP, this is brave. And I think he's realized maybe a little bit stupid at times. So he's going to fall back. He's like, yeah, no, I've got no backup. I'm full back.
I hate seeing that, though. Like, I'd rather you just see you commit. Because, like, a lot of times a player will do that. And then when they realize, okay, I need to push back, that's when they get caught.
Sure.
But gets away with it.
Well, it will be an A-side attack. See, was there 3 players towards the door? Just 2? Oh, Furs there as well. There are 3. And they'll just run out. This is a crazy play, and Nifty does get punished. Lovely stuff here from mibr. Ustillo left alone to try and fend them off, but he does find the bomb and buys some time, and there's not much of it left.
Great play. Good swing again. He's been using that red crate so effectively. Swings back out, finds bolts as well. Bomb's going to stay down longer. As Fallen finally gets a response, switching over to the AK to do so, but Azza's got fur. It's Fallen and Cold. Cold's just now getting to a main, but now is close enough. Did he get it down? He did, but he's gone. That was planted just in time. It's all on to Cold. 24 HP, 1-on-1 against Jacob. His teammate sacrificing himself for the bomb. Jacob's going to tap. Shows enough on the shoulder that Cold makes it easy. Fires in, and just barely they'll get 9-4.
That's so insane. The bomb was being planted in the flames. We need a replay of that. That's so cool. Just when it felt like Renegades had done the perfect amount of work, Incendiary dropped on the side. They did plant inside there. It goes down as he dies, and they win the round in the 1 versus 1. That's going to be so disappointing. It's Cold Zera. You can see him defending his teammate. There it is. Fallen goes down as the bomb's planted. It's so well done. A little bit lucky, I guess, but overall, it does work out for them, and they've broken down Renegades to full eco. Finally, they can pull this back to 9-6.
Fur gets up above, and without guns, they run directly toward him. They will actually collect. So too will Ustillo, so hang on, because we're knotted up 3 aside on round 14, with a gun now picked up as well for Ustillo to work with. He's got the AK in hand. Fallen with the AWP. Ustillo's gone all the way with the AK through Squeaky and is now behind them as well. So give him a gun,
boost.
Give him the map, and you're right. He's got a player with him. Nifty could easily put him up above. Bolts is considering a flank, but not from that position. They're not going to go for it. I thought really that they would.
I think that would have been a great call. Just when you got 2 players there, it's quite rare to boost from that side of CT. I think that would have been really exciting. If they wanted to play this position, they would have actually found a kill from that. coldzera's going to get that kill for sure. And there we go. That's probably the round, considering the positioning of the CTs here. The boost would have been brilliant. Obviously, they don't have the information we have. I just think it would have been quite an interesting approach. Nifty does pull one back. 2-on-2 now. If he can find the weapon, there's definitely a chance here.
Oh, the good nade, though. You're right. Definitely a chance. Nifty's got the AK picked up, but the second nade without the armor. Absolutely punishing. Bomb went down, and Fallen starting to come alive. Better late than never, perhaps. Up to 6 kills in total. Bolt still sits with just those 2 we found when he traded in mid, but 9-5 our score. You said if they could get to double digits. They might not. This could go 9-6 still.
That'd be a really disappointing way to finish it. But, like we said, 9 still decent. 10 would have been sublime. As we get into round number 15 here. Nifty on the AWP. Does he want to try and, I think, aggressive? Doesn't look like it. He's been quite contained in that sense. Hasn't really shown us any of those crazy, aggressive flick shots he's capable of. And Cash is one of his home maps as well. He usually does very well on this particular one. But final round now. Jacob by the pipe towards middle. He'll be backed up by Nifty, who I think is playing towards the sandbags. Has Fallen boosted on the white truck there, looking for any sort of activity towards the white box.
Smoke out all the way towards Z. Nifty at sandbags can actually take advantage of that smoke if they challenge, because now he can fall back inside without being as open in doing so. It's an off angle, so even a Molotov wouldn't distill him from the position at sandbags, which is very easy to throw off the pillar, as we've seen. Speaking of, Stewie will bounce one behind the forklift. You still has managed to get away from it. Ooh, I don't know that he spotted him or not. As he dropped down. Maybe he did, maybe he didn't. Either way, he shuts the door. He's had enough of that.
Certainly. 40 seconds remain. Very slow final round here from MIB up. Jacob, challenge first. coldzera presumably checks his spot, though. Oh my goodness, no one's going to do it. And he should get 2 kills. They're only good for 1. coldzera somehow swings and brings it to a 4 versus 3 now. JKS isolated in the B site. 3 players coming towards him. He has got very, very basic utility. 1 flash and 18 seconds on his side. Can he find the kills required?
Shot in the sight. Somehow JKS gets away with one more jumping up. But it's Stewie that's turned it. I was about to call out Stewie on a stat I'll reveal to you at the end of the round, because that end of the round is coming super close. 5 seconds, you're right, it has. Bombs down. No HP that they can even run through and grab that. 2 and 4, and it goes 10 rounds finally for Renegades.
My God, what was your little secret stat then?
Well, I was going to say, Stewie, we said that he was up to 9 kills early. He actually finishes the half with only 12, and that was because he got 1 since round, I think it was 7. Got 2 that time, and Fur was the next closest. He only finishes on 9. It was coldzera that actually stepped up to change the fates.
Well, that's happened a few times before previously. Bolts finishes on 2 and 10. Not his best showing at all, but still they pulled the game back to a realistic position now. There's the scores on your screens. I think the teams are a little bit switched up there. That was confusing, but
stats were right.
The stats were right. I just blew my brain up looking at it. All the pictures and stuff going on. Either way, here we go. It looks like we are getting into the next half. Here are the odds, pretty even at this point. Trust me, MIBR can pull this one back, no problem. They win the pistol, all bets are off. as we get into a smoke deploy towards highway, I believe. I didn't quite catch the initial throwing point from Nifty. I think that's where it's heading towards. Indeed it is. And they'll just go towards Squeaky Door, but Stewie's in such a prime position to shut them down. He's going to completely devour the first one. He can't find anything more. He had so much time, but Fur is doing an incredibly good job from quad.
Fur did great. He's got 2 kills already. He'll swing back around. Bomb is dropped, and he knows it. Gets a third on JKS. He controlled the angle himself. He knew he was near the boxes, and he'll get a 4th as he finds Nifty. Didn't really move much at all in that round. Took about 10 steps for all 4 kills.
There we go. The fast door strategy with the slightly different smoke. Usually they'll throw a smoke that just lands towards the highway that blocks off on the bomb side, but this one was actually thrown directly on top of it to give them a little bit more breathing room, and they actually focus towards the side. Stop CT's actually sneaking towards the side itself, but Fur just completely destroys him. We saw how confident Stewie looked up there. It was only good for 1 frag. Thought he'd get a bit more, but he did take all the aggro away from Fur. So there we go. 4 SMGs, 3 of which are MP9s for MIBR here. Forced by, of course, from Renegades, considering no bomb went down. And I dare say, this will go the full distance now. This is where the grind begins, and this is going to be like a 16-14 game. This is probably the deepest we're going to see all day, I would say, because of the first 2 maps, you remember, 16-3, 16-7. So hopefully we'll see both these teams sweat and it come right down to the wire.
Well, with that, made in Brazil, having won the pistol, we'll go to all SMGs, bar Fur, who found the 4 kills. He'll use that investment, that return on, to get the M4 out. Good find early on as well from the MP9 of Fallen, which is the man you'd want to farm cash on an MP9, on an SMG. The rest of Renegades hold inside of A main, all 4. They'll head toward A. As Ustillo takes the brunt of the damage from an A lobbed in from Fur. Flash will buy further time, an opportunity to hold off the site. And Fur, I think, may have just spotted them getting around. Either way, Bolts knows they're there as well, and they'll set for crossfire. 1 at the corner, 1 at the red crate. He was expecting a flash. It never came through. Still manages to survive as Fur does most of the work yet again. 3 kills rather on the spray to make it 10-7.
Well, there it is. It will be the 2-0 for the Brazilians and the full eco now for Renegades. They can't really justify much more than Glocks and maybe a couple of P250s. That's about it. Round 18 coming through, and here we go. There's the 1 P250, that's it. So this could be 10-8, and now you feel like MIBR, they might tie things up very quickly, and then pressure then applied towards Renegades. But still, I really do have to commend Renegades on their CT play. That's some of the best CS I've seen them play in a while. Actually, looked like they were confident and had a game plan that was solid. It was really cool to watch how they were taking the game towards MIBR. But still a lot of work to do here, I'm afraid. Get the first pick. That's MIBR, of course, and Stewie looking to shut this one out. A bit of an MP9 specialist as he gets his 3rd, make it 4th kill of the round. Gets a lot of money for that one, and Nifty just trying to sneak the bomb in there. Not going to happen, I'm afraid. And 5 players survive. This is what we'd call a bit of a bonus situation, I guess. I think Fallen threw away his MP9 towards the end of that round. Maybe he didn't buy anything, I'm not sure. But either way, presumably he gets the AWP out now, which he does. He gives it to Cold, though. He is being the merchant today. He's just buying weapons for his teammates, being friendly.
Being friendly.
It's nice to see.
He gets a commend for friendliness.
Yeah, exactly. So he's going to be on the MP9 with Stewie. I'd assume those two have maybe got a good spawn. That's why he gave Cold Zero the AWP, and they can try and push somewhere. So Stewie and Fallen going towards B. They are indeed going to push B. Fallen at least is. He's with Fur. So they definitely got something up their sleeve. That's why Cold Zero has been given the AWP towards middle. But it's an A-sided attack, and Renegades maybe 1 step ahead of them.
Firing, and it's actually... Yeah, not going to be the bullets that do the damage. It's the flames from bullets that take down Ustillo. Good shot back from Nifty on the AWP. There's still a chance that they can pull this around. Only down 1 man so far, and with the smokes in place, the bomb gets thrown in such a fashion that Nifty is able to plant it open enough, not wide open, but open enough for a main. He's the AWP player you'd love to have in that position. Given the circumstances, he wants to slide back out, spots 1 more down toward the highway, knowing that the AWP was looking that direction. They elect to rotate back toward the truck, or rather in favor of the truck, rather than having 2 go up highway. It's to that direction. Instead, Nifty steps back out, and Stewie still manages to hide. Missed shot, Fallen slides in. Good hold from JKS. The accuracy Not going to be equaled in the second attempt as Bolts finally puts him down. It's Azza. Already naded, holding behind quad, but hang on, gets the first. They're on the defuse. He could have easily swung to find ball, and they're lined up, and Azza's going to get all three.
They had to go for the defuse there. mibr, so good at those sort of retakes. Every single time it feels like they haven't got enough to work with there, and it was very similar at that point as well. They didn't know Azza was actually in towards quad. They did throw a grenade in towards the end there, but they had to line up, set up the human shield, and you can see Fallen desperately defusing the bomb. He had enough time for the defuse, I think, as well. But Azza, 3 kills in the round. Nice little spray down to finish things off. And it's 11-8. That was the bonus round, remember, from mibr, because they pushed towards B with those MP9s at the start. They got that intel, but Renegades with the set piece towards A at the very beginning of the round. Gave them a nice entrance, but it wasn't clean. You can see those smokes we saw from the CT point of view. They had lots of vision towards their entrance to main. There was fire everywhere, flashbangs going off. Renegades couldn't really find quick access towards the site, although they had all the manpower and AKs on that side of the map. And their money's starting to look a little bit jarring at this point. You can see the Galils coming out, 2 of those, a UMP and JKS in the same weapon, so just 1 AK. Quite nice and symmetrical though, as we'll get into round number 20.
Jacob gets back up to the corner of A main. They're expecting a push through, so he'll position accordingly. So willing to be passive, in fact, to the point where Ustillo holds behind the white truck at effectively T-spawn. Back in that direction. Problem is that sitting back this long and not having anything come their way doesn't do much to get them any information. And with mibr that buys a lot of time, they've not had to use utility.
Well, here we go. They have got smokes and a couple of Molotovs. And those Molotovs could mean absolutely everything here in these sort of plays. There's the first towards Checkers. I thought they might go towards Sunroom and try and deploy them directly on the site. But for now, just getting them a bit of entrance towards Checkers here with the smoke down towards the bomb site entrance. Ustillo going in first. He could just be flashed in here as he'll try and lead the charge. Colzera towards headshot, looking to find a few of those himself. Nifty will respond with 1. They've traded equally for now. This is looking quite good for Renegades. They smoke off. Is that a failed smoke towards CT though? It looks a little bit messy, but no, they have got 1 down there, so absolutely fine. Maybe the secondary smoke to stop any sort of CT access towards the site. Further uses it to actually find a bit of control. He's got that kill on Ustillo. You can see the barrel. That's pretty much a guaranteed kill for him.
So much timing in this round. Cold never spotted Ustillo going far. They nearly spotted each other in the smoke with Fur and he, and then gun barrel sticking out. It's Nifty that wants to respond. Bomb still ticks. And he'll swing. He knows Fur's somewhere in the corner, but he comes out just at the time the crosshair got in position and oversteps that mark that Nifty was holding. It's now on Jacob. He's got a Molotov, though. You're right. It is smart. They're on it, though, with the defuse. He should be able to withstand the pressure and the flames. He holds the defuse. He'll go down afterward, but it's all for naught from Jacob's point of view. Bolts gets the round to mibr.
Oh, really nice idea. Commiserations to Jacob there. Tried to time it to perfection. He was maybe 1 second off there. And if Bolts had anything but 100 HP, that wasn't happening. If you're defusing the bomb, and your HP still 100, and you're defusing as the flames hit you, you can still defuse. And that's exactly what happened there. He died a second after he got the defuse, and that's how it should go down. So if players with 100 HP, as long as you're holding the defuse, you're fine.
Yeah, I think it's obviously 5 seconds to defuse. I think it's 6 or 5... It's just about 6 to die to a Molotov from full HP. Give or take. I'm sure there's a fractional percentage in there that I'm not aware of, but it's close enough for argument's sake. So boost up, no guns this time. They'll go to pistols. I say no guns. There is 1 UMP for Jacob. Obviously, that was carried over given the circumstances of the last round, but mibr certainly giving themselves a chance to get back into this game. Only 1 round so far from Renegades in this half. Fallen forced off middle, doesn't want to overcommit. Giving up middle means they'll have to watch highway. That'll be Bolts that's tasked with doing so. Spraying in preemptively. He actually found Azza. The second one was calculated and addressed as he found Jacob, or rather JKS, and then they swing out together. Cold with 2. Bomb was already down, and it's 1 round the difference at 10-11.
Absolutely. mibr reeling them in at this point. Scoreline in the second half is 5-1 in favor of the Brazilians here. 4 AKs for now. JKS with $4,500. Presumably gets the same weapon as well. Indeed he does. And this is where Renegades will be tested. It's their T sides in recent memory that have really been criticized in terms of the overall execution and tactical depth they have. Let's see whether this is any different. Molotovs towards the sandbags right now. Fur sees the trajectory of them coming in. Assumes players are towards the boost as coldzera waits patiently in the vents now. They haven't got a secondary Molotov to get him out of position. He's just going to mow them down. He takes the first 2 kills. Fur finds the third. That's pretty much guaranteeing that round number 22 goes in favor of Made in Brazil. JKS and Nifty now in an impossible scenario, really. I would say they have maybe all their utility. They maybe stand a chance here, but it's just getting even worse. coldzera spamming towards the mid-entrance as he takes 52 points of health away from Nifty. Got a minute to work with here, but this is where mibr turn the game around. They're going to have all the money. And Renegades on an eco at 11-11. And that's if Nifty and JKS don't save these weapons. They've got to try and hold on to them for a minute here. They're just hoping for CT mistakes right now. And so far, mibr not making any of them.
JKS already boosted. Good shot. Takes out Fur. Standing in the open, trying to catch out anyone inside of middle still. It's just 1 kill to the 3 that have gone against them, however, so not really that much impact. Fallen finds Nifty. That pretty much cements the round. With 20 seconds, I'm going to go ahead and call it done. Fallen will confirm 11-11. So we started at 7-1, Henry, which is our score for today. We get to our score overall. 11-11, we see that a lot. Not as much lately, but we used to.
Yeah, we really did.
It was a thing.
It was a thing for the longest of time.
We were a thing.
Yeah, we still are.
Okay. Let's end it there.
$2,500 pretty much for everyone in Renegades right now. Third stage loss bonus, really not ideal, but still hasn't got to the scary tipping point just yet. Even if they lose this round, there's still plenty of buffer time to sort things out for themselves. Deagle, CZ, no armor, no nades. You'd assume this is a bit of a gimme round for mibr as we enter round number 23. Fallen on the orb. But look at his score right now. Fallen 10-14. Bolts still struggling a bit with 7-14. But still, they've pulled things back. coldzera 20 frags, Fur 21. Those are the kind of players you want to see at the very top. As Fallen, that's more like it. Sure, they don't have any pistols, but it's nice to see him hitting those sort of shots. Will be shut down eventually by Jacob. 4 versus 3 now. Nifty, Jacob, and Ustillo trying to recover anything they can. And the problem is that orb, obviously being a sniper rifle, is very far away from them. Really within an arm's reach. And they hold up towards A at this point. With no grenades, no armor. Just going to try and walk in, perhaps, see if they can get a 1 deke. Time will tell.
So, Nifty, Deagle. Work with Jacob. Pretty fireworks in her up on top of the E-box. Good angle, actually, to hold behind the forklift. It's just not viable in many situations because you lose so much more sight control. That time they had it all to work with, and mibr find their 12th round.
Oof. Second shot from Fallen was pretty tasty.
That was very good, you're right.
There it is, though. mibr take the lead after losing the first half, 10-5. You have to remember, Renegades have had some real touch-and-go clutches when it comes right down to the wire. To be fair, they had a couple against them as well with that full defuse in the flames. Double orb set up, I think, for the first time on the CT side. Might be wrong there, but it's 7-1 overall, again, in the second half. mibr with the lead now, though. Fallen, this time, positioning himself towards A. He'll be there technically alone. Bolts towards highway, though. They've got a massive focus towards middles. Stewie in the vents first, sandbags, bolts at highway. Just trying to shut down any boosted players here. You got good backup towards B from Stewie, who can go towards coldzera. But Cold is so safe in those sort of spots towards B, for example. He can find maybe 1 or 2 kills, stay alive. It's very tenacious like that. Has Fallen edges in a little bit closer and closer towards the A main position, just trying to get full control. As he will be flashed. Oh my god, did he hit that? No, he didn't. That bolt certainly did, and he's recovering very well indeed. Fallen does drop the bomb better than he expected, perhaps, as Bolts finds another kill from short.
They do eventually give up the site, though, as Nifty is able to continue to collect the bomb that's now been dropped 2 separate occasions, but they'll get it planted in the end. JK has to hold off toward A main, and rightfully so, as Fur is heading in that direction from middle. He needs to hurry up and get there because Bolt's on 6. If he or Cold go down, Fur is essentially losing his greatest ally in that he can distract and take aggro away, or catch them off if aggro goes the other direction, or he could just straight up win the duel against JKS. Fair enough. Nifty goes up on top of the box. Good position, falls away as well. No repeak. Both so low. Everyone, in fact, 33, 22, and 6. Nifty finds Bolt, and he's got a chance against Fur. He can hear him working in the site, and he'll play silently to catch him off. It's 12-12.
Great stuff from Nifty. Took such a risk there at the start to just stand on the bomb side. Knew he had to make something happen there. Low HP. I thought he was done for. He gets the first kill, finds a high HP player, drops down at that point and starts toying with them. Bomb starting to tick away. And he capitalizes upon that fact and manages to bring it down to the 1 versus 1. And Fur was done for at that point. Didn't seem like Nifty had a chance, but that's going to really get them fired up now. They do love a clutch, Renegades. And Nifty now recovers the AWP. He'll be boosted up. Same boost we saw Fallen use. And he did spot a player there. I'm not sure if that's X-ray being misleading. Let me have a look. No, Bolts was there. And he might be in trouble. As I'm not sure he's aware that Nifty's on the other side boosted up. It looks like he's fine for now. Bolt's coming back into the fray. And Nifty didn't quite spot him. So he'll just drop off and go back into the default.
As it starts to make his presence known at Squeaky.
Just to note as well, we're at 12-12, right? And both of these teams are pretty much broken financially.
That's true.
Whoever wins this round, that might decide. I wouldn't say wins the entire thing, but it's going to give them a huge advantage. So we'll see who comes out on top here. And if it's Renegades, maybe they can steal this game back. As Fallen will be dropped by Nifty, who's seeming to come online at this point. Great few rounds from him. As Fur will be smoked off, he'll have to push through. He knows T's are going to be crossing over any second now. All the utility, flashbangs being deployed. As Fur still alive and kicking, but not for long, as the Galil takes him down 5 on 2. And do they have to save at this point? They have no money. Do they have to fall back and just keep the M4s in their hands?
It'll only be the 3rd round of the half that Renegades collect. It goes to show you how good their first half was, because now, as you say, they've got a huge economic boost. Yustillo played that very well. Fur was holding as timidly as he dare behind that smoke, knowing he couldn't overcommit, but Yustillo was certainly prepared for it. Thought, okay, they're going to be toward highway, but naturally they're going to watch toward quad. As soon as he walked around, found the kill, found the duel, and therefore the round. No chance. MIBR sits on 12. We go 13 for Renegades. And the money in disarray. It's 2 in a row, so it's not like it's building up massively either for Renegades. But with 1 gun, I'm just taking a peek, with 1 gun held, 3,800, so they can actually force off this on the MIBR side. Now, if they lose the force at 13-12 and therefore go to 14-12, they'll have even less money, and this could be a huge problem.
What are they going to go for? They're going to force.
I think it's the right call, but again, if you lose out on it.
They can't afford the AWP, actually. Fur can drop that, if that's the way he wants to go with it. Technical timeout, okay. So it does sound like you'd hear that water sound you hear. Yes. Famously in the Half-Life engine, when someone lags out, that's what you hear. I haven't heard it go before, I'll say that much.
That's true, actually. I haven't. Yeah. I instantly knew what it was, but you're right, I haven't heard it in Go.
Yeah, so in 1.6 especially, when that noise is heard, it was like a Half-Life engine bug that when someone lagged out, it just made this water sound. And it looked like Fur kind of frozen for a little bit. That's the sound we heard. There's no water on this map as far as I'm aware. So there we go, that's kind of cool. Round number 26, and we're back into it. That's cool as well. Fallen, did he get dropped the orb? Fur has spent all his precious cash. I'm going to look at Fallen now, and it's the M4 on the ground. So they're opting for more utility instead of just straight up AWP. It's not like Fallen's really carrying them right now at the orb, so that's understandable. 5 M4s, and this could be the do or die time. If MIBR do drop this one, they'll be 14-12 down and forced with a really difficult decision at that point. You play for overtime, or do you force up and try and pull it back?
Azza's going to hold out behind Squeaky. He's still out. Still trying to hold off outside toward that white truck in case there's a push or a counter boost through, but that boost isn't likely given that Nifty's already peeking toward the white box with the AWP. Stewie and Cold to hold at B. Bolts is going to go back toward truck. Presumably he'll rotate down towards Z and hold a passive mid with Fallen to support that. So no op for the CT side, which on cash can be a big boost to a CT side in general. I said he was going to go bolts toward Z. He hasn't yet. He's playing toward truck. He's actually waiting for further information. They've gotten JKS to the white box in mid. Asa still behind the door, but it's Fur that matters most on the boost. Flash won't catch him. It didn't bounce far enough. He was aware of it. Turned back. Second one, that'll go off. He's ready for it. Bolts gets the shot though, and Bolts follows it. Well done, because Fur was actually spotted by Ustillo, and by the time the second player, Jacob, walked through, he was committed elsewhere, but overcommitment from Fur as he jumps down. That's going to give Asa some room, but Fallen's got stationed inside of the site, and JK has to fall with 3 seconds. Round done. 50 can kill all that he likes, but it's all self-preservation at this point.
Well done by Bolt, especially surprising there was no smoke even towards the CT truck. They're also focused on the forklift area, and of course the boost. The Bolt has had a bit of a shooting gallery. I'm sure we saw that from his POV. He wasn't being challenged too much. He just had free reign of the bomb site. Renegades dropped the ball slightly there. That was their opportunity to really seize this game and get themselves over the finish line. So they still have plenty of cash still in it, but that was their chance to close it out. 13-13. I think this is the deepest game we've had today as we get into round number 27.
Two pretty one-sided ones.
I'm thinking of the B stream as well. This is like kind of
true, yeah,
bringing
okay,
it all together.
Yeah, well done. You're very inclusive.
Yeah, I like to make sure everyone's involved. And for now, coldzera and Stewie are involved in the B bomb side. There'll still be a breaking point, don't get me wrong. Everyone's fully invested in all the utility they were missing before. They still don't have the AWP. It's Fallen is on the FAMAS, in fact, with no head armor. Fur's already made his way towards lockers. He'll be baited in by Bolt, who still plays towards A. They're going to even smoke towards A main to make it look more convincing. Why would anyone be there? Why would we smoke this out when we have control of A main? It's all a ruse.
So Flash held AWP as well, but he's got to be so cautious behind him towards Z. They've got other players watching it now. Ustillo, namely. So too, at big garage was Jacob, and he'll now babysit toward the vents. So smoke to go top highway from Jacob. Bomb indicates with the rotation toward B to me that is where they are looking to end up with a split 2-2. 2-2-1 if you want to include Z Connector as well, because they've got Ustillo to try and catch off Fallen in a bit of a lurk situation. It's not an active lurk. He's actually just holding for rotations. Good find from Stewie. Flashback in. Smoke's going to protect him as well, meaning no one can push through from B main. And Stewie's going to take advantage of that as well, but couldn't land the final shot. 25 HP as Asa is able to bring this 4-4. Do they find Cold? 18 seconds. Cold's going to line up. Bomb not yet down, but a substantial amount of the round. Oh my goodness, nearly pulled away. As Asa turned around, I thought if he got Fallen there, he would have pulled it off. But it's down to Ustillo. 8 seconds. Round is done. At this point, he's playing for pride.
Yeah, can't really do much about this. We'll finish things off there. Great stuff from coldzera. Knew what he had to do. Patiently waits on the site as they line up for him with the time running down. They didn't really have a chance to even check everything on the bomb site. It's kind of apparent. You can watch their screens now. They're trying to focus on everything. JKS did look towards that area, but coldzera way too fast, and a tactical timeout is called. You can see why Jacob $2,000. You still owe not much further in front, and the rest of them hovering around 3K. So that's JKS is low as well, I have to say. So at this point, do they allow mibr? This is the kind of storyline we were building up for the Brazilians before. Do they allow them to get to match point and then go for overtime, or do they force up now and try and deny it? I'm not sure which way I would go at this point. It's just pick your poison, that's what I normally call it. And it looks like they're going to play for overtime, essentially, with just a Deagle purchase so far.
Fur will move toward the white truck. Run boost from Asa. That didn't work. Try again, lads. I mean, you've already lost the advantage of time, and with the smoke down, there's really no benefit to it. So that was identified by Asa, and they say, I'll just walk. I'll just walk. Ooh.
Okay. A chance.
Nifty. Great shot. Fur goes down. Asa's still holding out towards Sunroom. Cold up close on the box, keep in mind. Great opening shot, gives the advantage Two Renegades. Map point pending for mibr. If somehow they were to fall victim to these pistols, they would actually be back onto an eco.
Yeah, that's very unlikely considering now it's just Glocks. But you are right. That opening kill from Nifty, now a distant memory. coldzera should make light work of these, and that's going to be match points. They had to take the eco. They now need 2 rounds in a row, Renegades, to get themselves to overtime. Certainly possible. Like we said, it's a T-sided map, technically. It depends on the matchup, in my opinion.
Sure.
But technically, T-sides have the advantage, as Nifty shows us how proficient he can be with the Desert Eagle. 1 bullet's all that's required to pluck off the head of fur. He did compliment him in chat. I can confirm if you're interested in that sort of thing. Some people are.
Some are.
So there
Nosy
we go.
buggers.
And will be fallen back on the AWP, looking for his 18th frag, currently on 17 and 19. But Renegades can't make any mistakes at this point.
Nifty backs away. Good find again. This time, same victim, different weapon. It's the AK-47 that gets the headshot. He'll take further damage from a nade, but he will, I can confirm, get away. Bolts tries to pursue. He's got to be careful. Ooh, I thought the repeat was about to happen as he had the nade drawn.
There we go. 5 versus 4 exactly what Renegades needed. It was Nifty to open things up before. He's done it again here. But can they finish it off?
Interesting.
There's that deagle in the hands of...
Stewie's got a FAMAS on his back, but he wants the deagle for range.
Guess so. Yeah, 3K. He definitely could have afforded a rifle if he wanted it, but... Well, he has got a rifle. He could have got the M4, I mean. Either way, you're right, holding the deagle for range. Drops the smoke now, just trying to buy some time. And in terms of the setup for the Renegades, it looks like they're probing towards B. Nifty has been dropped by Fallen. Azza needs to be careful here.
I thought that hit. It looked like it, but obviously no damage ensued.
So this is all a bit of a fake now. Azza will try and do whatever he can to convince him he's going A. But the thing is, coldzera and Stewie, I don't think they'll move unless 2 kills come in. If it's just the 1, I think it'll be a desperate attempt to try and cause a rotation. But coldzera in the vents especially, it's Azza now. There's 1 smoke, and I don't think that's falling anyone, as Stewie will hold position. If he gets 1 of these kills, that's probably it. He calls in for coldzera.
Softens him up with the FAMAS and goes to the deagle. In the end, it was a headshot either way, but it's coldzera to close it out. 16-13 mibr. Recover from a slow first half, and as you say, not the best start, but mibr win their first official match.
They do indeed, and it wasn't the easiest of games. It was 7-1 down, of course, coming onto the server. It was looking so good from Renegades, and my heart does bleed for them a little bit. They were playing some great Counter-Strike in the first half. Their CT sides looking fantastic. They weren't just relying on huge clutches or anything like that. They're actually assertive. They're going for boosts. But for now, Matthew, that's going to be it from us. And we'll throw it over to
downstairs.
The lovely Alex down there. Right down, no,
hey,
down there.
No, you'd be actually under me right now.
Oh, damn it. Thanks, boys. Thank you very much. All the same, that was, of course, Henry G and Sadikis. They'll be one of the casting duos we get to see throughout ESL One Cologne. They'll be done for the day now. Chad Birchall and Yanko hanging out with me. So, gents, mibr, 100% win rate so far as an organization.
Pretty good, right?
Yeah.
You know, some clutches, some kills, and that's what you need, 16 rounds.
I do have to kind of mimic that of Henry's stance, where I do feel like Renegades, not robbed by any means, but just threw it away almost, like squandered what could have been quite the beautiful performance of
Yeah, unfortunately, what we talked about in the pregame came true. You know, Renegades' T-sides let them down yet again, even on such a T-sided map like Cash. I agree with Henry. I don't think it was mibr throwing rounds away early on. I think it was great CT-sided play from Renegades, taking calculated risks when they had SMGs still, you know, boosting JKS, for example. That second gun round, he got quick flank, gets 2 kills. You know, it really gave Renegades a lot of early advantages. Even later on, they would, you know, mid-round take control of a main, right? They were being dynamic. They were being proactive on their CT side, and they won some big clutches, but by playing them well, the 3v3s, good use of incendiaries and utilities. So eventually SK picks it up.
Yes, indeed, mibr took that one home.
Yeah.
It's going to happen.
It's gonna happen.
We need like a square jar for the amount of times we do that.
We'll have to put a little, we'll write it down.
I think it's mostly because it's so easy to say SK.
Yeah.
And mibr's a mouthful.
Can we come up with something else for them?
We'll work it out. We could just call them the Brazilians.
Yeah.
Yeah. Only when LG show up at an event and we get really confused. Yeah. Anyway, we do have none other than the non-Brazilian from the Brazilians, and standing by for an interview. We can hear from Stewie 2K and how he feels their first debut match under the mibr banner went.
mibr have done it. They have come here and somehow, some way, scraped back
Yes,
a win here on
indeed,
Cash.
Trace.
And for all intents and purposes, it was looking rough in the first half. Walk me through this 10-5 half.
I think we just started off slow. I think it's the typical
Apparently they
MIBR
have it,
team.
so.
They played really well. We lost a lot of clutch situations, and I think they adapt well, and they went up 9-0, I think, or 7-0, and luckily we mounted a comeback.
Yeah, and it looked like their CT sides were just a little bit more cohesive than they've probably been in the past. Do you have anything to say about the Renegades side in terms of where they're going, what they're doing with the team?
We practiced a lot against them, especially on Cash in the past, so we know how it is. We play against them on Cash in tournaments as well, and we haven't seen them or played them in a while, and it seems like they've been improving the Cash. Seems like they're confident on it, and I think it's one of their best maps.
Well, now let's talk about your Cash, because you are the victor. You guys did grab the W here in a rather close fashion. Talk to me about coming down to the wire there and the team comms and how it all came together.
I think we played really well on the CT side, except I think it's just really bad mistakes that we made.
And that was an
Not
opportunity.
clearing the one spot that they can be in, and we're separating, not being together. And other than that, I think we played
He sounded like he was a little bit disappointed at their start, but